Okay, this is from Johnny Martinsson 3892. He says, I have a Harley 750 WLA and I was wondering where that oil from front under crankcase from square hole when it runs.
Yes. Right, well that is your crankcase breather.
Yep.
Okay. So it's either wet sumping so badly, if it doesn't clear, it should clear. If it's wet sumping that badly, yeah, it will smoke like a pig and blow oil out of that hole for the first probably 5 minutes. But if it continues doing it, then the crankcase breathing system has to be timed.
Yep.
Okay, so when you put your scavenge pump in, you hold your gears 5/16 of an inch off of the casing, and there's a notch in the part that holds the scavenge pump, that is on the outside of the scavenge pump, and the breather is the bit that rotates inside it.
Right.
If that isn't timed correctly, it doesn't matter what you do, it won't stop blowing oil out the bottom. So what you'd have to do is remove the tappet chest, okay, set it up top dead centre, you push your cogs in, the 2 drive cogs, one does your cams, or one of them's a cam drive and one of them is the oil pump drive, and you push that in until it is 5/16 of an inch off of the aluminium casing, a notch in the outer of the scavenge pump and a hole on the inner. That has to line up.
Okay.
If that doesn't line up, if it's been built wrong and that scavenge pump is timed wrong, scavenge pump breather, you'll never stop it blowing oil out the bottom. But if it's doing it constantly, then it needs taking down and looking at, yeah.
Old Iron Machine Shop says, where do you buy those 45 cylinders ready to run, those new 45 cylinders on a Harley?
Any of your suppliers really, Boone's, 45 Service, Flat Bastards, any of your main suppliers will do them. You can buy them just the barrels, you can buy the barrels complete with the pistons and the valves, but I'd always recommend popping the valves out and lapping them in, giving the pistons probably another hone, the barrels another hone. Yeah, I mean, any of your major suppliers in Europe, you'll get them.
Cool. William A. Kit 5660, which is Shane in Australia. Question here from Oz, if you don't mind answering. I have to replace the primary cover on the WLA, and I was wanting to know if you had any experience with Samwell P-covers. How do they fit up? Any adjustments required? I'm hesitant to buy a V-twin manufacturing item as I had issues with them prior. I want a raw finished cover.
What is it on? 45?
WLA, yeah.
WLA, what is it called? A Samwell what?
It's primary cover. Sorry.
Oh, I see. That would make sense then, wouldn't it? No, I haven't had a lot of experience with aftermarket ones. I've never fitted one, to be fair.
What's Samwell primary cover here?
Yeah, but the originals, when you look at them, see that there? See that raised part there?
Okay.
That's all one piece. As far as I believe, that is how you identify an original from an aftermarket.
Yeah.
They're split in two, I think. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's an original. Where there's see that raised section? It goes all the way through, and it's got the reinforcing plate here. So that's totally original. That one.
Yep.
See, that one's got the dent there. It doesn't go all the way through, that one.
Right.
And there's no reinforcing plate in here. So whether any of these bikes are Samwell ones, or I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I've never sort of bought one and fitted one.
Any opinion on Samwell?
As good as anybody else, I guess. Yeah, I've had some parts of them that I haven't liked. You're in the trade of aftermarket parts, you know. It's yeah.
John's 7250. This is when you were replacing the rear wheel bearings on the Model U.
Yep.
Again, where did you buy the parts? The V-twin kit has it all, but so much more than I need. Well,
if you want to buy individual rollers, a again, just go on Boone's. I'm sure 45 parts will do them. Roller set standard, 0.2 of a thou over, 0.2 of a thou over, 0.4 of a thou, 0.6 of a thou, 0.8 of a thou, blah blah blah, 10 thou. They only go up to 10s over, so if you get past that,
The 45 flathead service.
yeah, they'll all do them again.
The whole kit, or you could buy just individual parts.
Oh, they do go bigger now. They go to 20. Yeah, you just buy all your individual parts off of here.
There does seem to be maybe a concern online as to where to get good parts from, doesn't there?
Yeah, I mean, a needle roller's a needle roller. A bearing's a bearing generally. You will get some that are slightly undersized, oversized.
I suppose if people are hesitant in buying knockoff Chinese parts,
they'll all be made in China or India or somewhere.
Yeah.
I doubt very much. Well, you won't. You might find original. Boone's tend to sell some original stuff. If not, Michel Clements in Belgium, he'll have some original stuff.
Yeah.
Depends how far you want to go with originality, really.
This is from user KC4HD6QU5G. No less. And trying to install my Springer on my 42WL at the moment. My handlebars bottom out the adjustment cone before they're down all the way by about 3/16 of an inch. I think the centering cone that's welded to the steering stem below the lower bearing cut cage. Do you use the centering cone? Not in the original parts book. Springer is aftermarket.
Yeah, be careful with that, because I did all sorts of weird shit with them aftermarket Springers. Pretty sure it should have the centering cone. I mean, if it's all new as such, then I wouldn't trust the handlebars are going down and sitting fully on the top of the forks anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, so the original parts book doesn't show the centering cone. I have built them with both. Some have them, some don't. I have built them with both. So whether it's a year thing, I don't know. Springer fork, head fitting steering damper. No, it just shows a lower cone. No, it doesn't show them. It'll be wherever he's got them from, the forks. Probably get in touch with them and find out exactly how they recommend the setup.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is when you were doing the engine rebuild on a WLC. And this is from Doug Vincent, W5U. In the clutch basket, the bearing retainer held in by springs. Which way do they go?
Widest in first. And there's 3. Some of them got groove in all the studs, all the long studs.
Yeah.
Some have got them in random places. There'll be a little groove, and all you do is you push your spring over it, widest part in first, narrow part to the outside, and it just clicks into that groove. That's all it is.
Okay.
You can get all sorts of different aftermarket ones of them again. You can get ones with circlips, you can get ones with plastic, you can get them all sorts of different ones.
This is when you were doing the crankshaft end float and check and the cam shaft bearing on the Harley. Where can you buy those stud removers?
Stud removers? Well, I've just got the standard set Draper tools, anybody. That's the sort of ones I had. There. So you just slide them over. In the bottom of there's 3 different sized, or 3 like needle rollers. You stick it over, so they do it's 5mm, 6mm, 8mm and 12mm, 8mm and 12mm.
So just a Google search from where you are.
12, 10, 8, 6. Yeah, they just slide over and lock themselves. We use them for doing up or undoing.
Brian Dwyer 9767. Back to episode 12. This is when you're doing the 36 Ford flathead V8.
Yeah.
He said, is there no gasket between the head and block?
No, all I was doing, I checked the video back out because it was a long time ago. All I was doing was mocking it up, putting the heads on because they were, in quotes, because they're such a low compression engine. One was a slightly different head from the other. That was all it was. So all I was doing was putting the head on without a head gasket, checking for valve clearance to make sure the valves didn't hit the cylinder heads. So if you do it without a gasket and you've got clearance, then you've got plenty of clearance. That was all that was for.
This is from Boomer Assman.
Cool.
When you're doing the brake assessment on the Pontiac. Great run through, that helped a ton. Quick question before I dig into my 54. Do the star adjusters turn the same way on both sides to tighten and loosen, or are the reversed like lugs are?
They work. They are opposite threads.
Yeah.
But basically, you're turning it the same way because one's sitting on the back, one's sitting on the front. Yeah.
This is some Gear Bergeland. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I couldn't find a video about how to convert a 3-pole generator to a 2-pole version and how to wire it to an electronic voltage regulator. Do you have any plans to cover this topic, or could you offer any advice?
Right, I think.
It's about WLA, obviously.
Yeah, you either get the bit that bolts on the end of your standard generator, or you have a standalone voltage regulator. So basically, you just remove the third brush.
Yeah.
And follow the wiring instructions that come with the kit.
Okay.
So you literally take the third brush out, and a kit, when you buy it, it'll have the voltage regulator. I think some bolt. What was it? Auto Electric Inc. or something like that. Are the American ones. So you take your cover off the end. You literally bolt this new one on the end of it. And it'll come with wiring instructions.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And that converts it from 2 to 3.
Yeah.
3 to 2.
Yeah, you just pull out the third brush and go from there. All the love in the world. Why am I singing that?
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.